Welcome back to another episode of Curios for the Curious. Today we're kind of looking at an arts and crafts project that I put together several years ago and just kind of revisiting it here. Kind of functions as a paperweight, and let's see, it's basically a jar of marbles, and for those who collect marbles, they will know that marbles come in a variety of patterns during their formation, and one typical one here that I have is I believe a sunburst. So they typically have multicolor swirls of some sort, or just one color, but this one happens to be kind of a bluish clear glass, transparent glass, and then inside are swirls of various colors, in this case blues, yellows, reds, and possibly a shade of white. So some of them blend, so they might form a little bit of green with the yellow through the blue glass. There's a slight greenish color change effect there. But if we were to measure this marble here, let me see here, do a rough job on the fly with some calipers. Okay, so we measure that stick point. Transfer the distance to the ruler here. This one is exactly 16 millimeters, or 0.75 inches, I believe, are the standards for these types of marbles. So it's interesting, though, from this perspective, it looks like this is a lot larger than these marbles here in the jar, but it's actually an optical illusion. So if I actually bring them down to where the jar actually is, you can see that the marble is way smaller than the contents inside the jar. This actually has some weight to it. You can see the size of this jar that I've picked is actually kind of special because it is quite large diameter opening. So if we pick out one of these random, you can see the size difference between what's considered a normal, game playing marble for marble roller coasters, checkers, game of marbles itself. In this case, this will be the shooter to use as the impact marble. If we measure this one, let me see here, try to get at least a rough. Distance here, this is exactly an inch, looks like, or the classic 2.5 and some thousandths of a millimeter, centimeter. Right? Yeah. So about 25 centimeters, give or take. These are industrially made. You can see the impression marks from their manufacture. I'm trying to see what's on these ones that we can see. There's kind of a seam mark right there. Yeah, that one's not quite prepared. Some of these you might be able to see the pattern, which kind of indicates it might be a W. I think that's a W right there. I don't know if you can see that. But these were actually obtained on clearance. It was just bags full of these. So I just grabbed a handful of bags I thought would be useful later. And they just happened to find a jar in which they almost filled to the top. I could have used at least 1 or 2 more bags, but this is all they had. So yeah, you can see the size difference. And depending on where you place, say, a jar of marbles, they make a pretty good sun catcher. And the sun, through the movement of the day, creates some interesting light patterns in your interior. So it's kind of a nice decorative piece as well. So again, jar of marble shooters. And here's just a sample of normal marble. This has been another episode of Curios for the Curious. Feel free to check out other videos in the series of artsy type objects. We also do unboxing videos as well as show and tell videos on vintage milsurp tools and other expanded topics. And we also do a selection of book review media reviews. Feel free to check all those out. Feel free to like and subscribe, and thanks for watching. See you next time.